everyone, Mrs. Kramer here, and today we're going to talk about reasoning in your academic writing. So I put together a quick PowerPoint called Reasoning and Reasons for Reasoning. And the first thing I want to do is get your input on what is reasoning. What are some words that you've heard of that are related to this topic? I'm going to have you brainstorm with your partner as many words as you can related to this concept, and we're only going to give you 30 seconds to do that. So it might be some words that you know. It could be words that you've heard your teacher say related to this idea of reasoning. It could be from a video online, a Thinkercast, a YouTube, any words that you can think of that you would relate to this idea of reasoning. Then you can start to categorize some of the words and see if you can come up with a succinct definition of what is reasoning. Once you and your partner have an excellent definition, you are going to find another pair and share out your definition. So as a group of 4, you're going to possibly combine your definitions to create what you think is the best definition of reasoning. Eventually, you're going to share out your group of 4 definitions with the whole class. So your teacher will probably pause this and give you some time to do this activity. Now that you've had some time to talk about and think about what is reasoning, let's see what Google has to say about it. So I used a website. It's kind of a snarky little website. Feel free to use it with your friends. It's called Let Me Google That for you. So to save us some time and so you don't get distracted by social media, I have the definition of reasoning according to Google: the action of thinking about something in a logical, sensible way. So you can compare your initial definition and your small group definitions to see how close you were. So how does reasoning fit in with academic writing? That's really our focus for today's presentation. So reasoning is really your thoughts on whatever topic you're writing about. It's helping to link your claim and your evidence. It's oftentimes 2 to 3 sentences to be able to do it successfully. So the claim is coming directly from the prompt. The evidence is usually textual, so you're getting it from the author and using the credibility of the author to back up your claim. And your reasoning is your thoughts on the topic, on the claim, on the evidence. It's really linking everything together. And many of you are familiar with Melcon. The L in Melcon is link, and reasoning in the Circa is the same concept. I like to use the human body analogy to help remember all these different components of argumentative writing. So the way that I think about it is the claim is really the skeletal, the bones. It's what everything is built on. I think of the evidence as being the organs. We need them to function, but it's the connective tissue and the muscle that helps everything work together, and that is the reasoning. So if this analogy helps you remember the different components of a Circa or just good paragraph writing in general, you can think of it like this. So again, the claim is more of the skeleton, the evidence are those internal organs, and then the reasoning is the muscle, the connective tissue. It connects the claim with the evidence. Here's the thing that I think students get hung up on the most. You can't assume everyone understands why whatever evidence you chose is relevant to your claim. That's what the reasoning is all about. That's your job, is to persuade or to clearly convey why the evidence supports the claim that you're making in your argument. So as a refresher, here are the definitions for claim, evidence, and reasoning, and some tips on how to make those things better. So a claim is whatever idea you're attempting to prove. It has to be specific, debatable, defensible, and significant or meaningful. The evidence is a fact or information of some sort that supports a claim. As I mentioned earlier, it often comes from the text or an expert in the field. It has to be credible and relevant to whatever topic you're writing about. And then lastly, reasoning is an explanation of how your evidence proves your claim. So if you haven't already committed these definitions to your mind, I would write these down so that you can reference it later, because these are the key things that your teacher is going to be looking for in your academic writing. So there is a difference between reasoning and reasons. I incorporate, and I'm going to recommend that you incorporate into your academic writing, both of these things. So reasoning is that explanation that expresses how you understand the evidence and relate it to your claim. So it's really the why of whatever you think. Reasons, on the other hand, are the main points of why you made your claim in the first place. They can be supported or defended with evidence. So a reason is what you think. So if you're a visual person like I am, this is how you're going to want to organize your writing. You start with your claim. As I'm writing and reading, I'm looking for evidence to support my claim. And once I've found the evidence, I'm going to put in my reason why the evidence fits with the claim. So procedurally, I find the claim, I make my claim, I find evidence, I have a reason between my claim and evidence, but then to explain everything, I need a 2 to 3 sentence reasoning section in my academic writing. So when I'm all done and I put my writing in a succinct paragraph, it's claim, reason, evidence, reasoning. If I was to go on and add more evidence, you could put that right after reasoning. So you could put in evidence, reasoning, depending on how many pieces of information or facts you want to use to support your claim. So the last thing I'm going to have you do is think about, why is it important to support claims with both evidence and reasoning? And how are you going to remember what reasoning is and how to incorporate it in your academic writing? So please go ahead and do a quick write on the reasons for reasoning.